My husband and I, we've been through a very stormy challenge in our marriage.
Bakit hindi ko kayang gawin sa sarili ko yun? So, malaking palaisipan siya sa akin. First and foremost, wala yan sa gender. Regardless kung lalaki or babae ka. Hindi siya, pag sinabi mong CEO, dapat lalaki. Tanggalin natin yan, yung label na.
Kahit na magulo yung pamilya namin, I always believe na my parents, they still want the best for us. Though dumating din naman ako dun sa time na talagang, nagre-rebelde, kasi siguro, ako lang to, hindi ko lang alam sa iba.
Hi, welcome to Blueprint Podcast. It's where you build your dreams and build your legacy. So today we have a special guest. Ito is isa sa mga entrepreneur na magbibigay sa inyo about personal development. Okay, so let's welcome Ate Joanna and Ate Jevlyn. Can you introduce yourself, Ma'am Jev and Ma'am Joanna?
Hello everyone, I'm Jev Aurelio, and I am the CFO and co-owner of Loris Enterprises, Inc.
Hello, good afternoon or good day to everybody wherever you are. Okay, I'm sending you my love and light and also all my gratitude. I give you thanks from the bottom of my heart. I'm Joanna Marie Lazaro. Business partner po kami ni Jevely, and we own the company called Loris Enterprises, wherein we do events related to personal growth and professional development. So essentially, seminars, trainings, and workshops.
Nung bata po ikaw, anong isa sa mga pwede mong ikwento sa mga audience natin na saan ka nang galing, saan ka lumaki, parang ganun ba?
Okay. I'm from Mindanao talaga. Maguindanao to be exact. So, if hindi kayo familiar sa Maguindanao, masyadong peaceful doon. Medyo may image lang yung lugar namin sa Mindanao na magulo and all. Pero doon talaga kami lumaki. Doon kami lumaki magkakapatid, doon kami ni-raise ng parents namin. So I came from a average family. So my father is an engineer, my mother is working in a university library. So 5 kami magkakapatid. Ako yung middle child. So ever since as a child, pangarap ko talaga or sinabi ko sa sarili ko na I want to be a successful businesswoman. Pero kung anong business yung gagawin, hindi ko alam. I just know that I am going to be one someday. So, edukasyon talaga yung pinupush sa amin ng magulang namin. Kasi yun yung gusto niyang mangyari sa amin. Wala silang, alam mo yung common na sinasabi ng mga magulang natin, wala akong tanging maipamana sa inyo, kundi edukasyon. So, masyadong mahigpit yung tatay at nanay ko sa amin noong bata kami. Sabi ko nga before, parang may martial law sa bahay namin kasi sobrang strict. Parang, because my father is an intelligent man. Parang high achiever siya. Ever since as a kid, talagang sinigurado niyang maganda yung kanyang studies kasi sa 8 or 9 na magkakapatid, siya lang talaga yung pinush na magtapos. Alam mo yun sa typical family na ikaw panganay, kailangan makapagtapos ka. Kasi pag natapos ka, pag-aaralin mo naman yung sunod. Ganun, diba, dati? So, sa lahat ng magkakapatid, siya talaga yung pinush. Kasi number 1, siya din yung pinakamatalino and may potential na makapagtapos. So, and nadala niya yan sa amin na yun yung pinush niya sa amin na kailangan mag-aral kayo ng mabuti. Yan. So, hindi ka pwedeng, nagagalit siya kapag hindi ka maayos sa pag-aaral mo. Dati, kailangan namin maging honor student, ganyan. Parang kailangan mo, you should do well in school kasi malaking bagay dahil number 1, kapag valedictorian ka, di ba, free ka sa tuition fee. Kaya yung kapatid ko, yung bunso namin, yung valedictorian simula maliit. So, ganun yung upbringing ng parents namin na dapat maging maayos kami, maging professional kami, maging masunurin kami, maging mabait kami. And somehow, lumalaki ako na kahit na, lumaki akong may takot sa magulang ko. Before, hindi ko naiintindihan yun na parang, as a kid, parang masyado namang traumatic kasi parang laging galit, parang hindi ka pwedeng magkamali, kailangan maayos ka, alam mo yun, kasi magagalit sila. Pero later on, when I grow up, na-realize ko, para din naman sa amin yun. Kaya lumaki din kami magkakapatid na maayos, professional lahat, parang masunurin, parang maayos kumbaga yung pamumuhay namin ngayon because naging masunurin at naging mabait na mga anak din kami noon. So nadala ko din yung upbringing na yun until na lumaki ako na parang kailangan kong magtrabaho at magsikap para maabot ko yung pangarap ko. Hindi kami mayaman. Hindi kami mayaman. So ang tanging ano ko lang before is kailangan ko lang makapagtapos. Kasi yun yung alam natin noon, di ba? Kasi yun ang gusto ng magulang ko. One way for me to honor my parents sa lahat ng ginawa nila sa amin is kailangan kong mabigyan ng diploma. O makita ko, mas mabigay ko sa kanya, okay, nakapagtapos na ako. Parang pasabihin nila, graduate na din sila sa mga responsibilities somehow nila sa amin because nakapagpatapos sila ng mga anak nila. Parang ganon. One way to honor your parents, parang mapa or mommy or daddy, ito po yung diploma ko. 'Di ba? Pero kasi one thing din na in-instill ng father ko sa amin ay one factor lang hindi yung pagiging magaling sa school, pero ang totoong laban sa buhay is ang totoong realidad is after school. So ang totoong laban is after school. So dapat maging madiskarte ka sa buhay. So yung one thing talagang lagi nang ini-instill sa amin, maging madiskarte ka sa buhay. Yun, hindi ka pwedeng, kasi possible na pwede kang mag-relax lang, di ba? Parang have a dream, have a goal, and then do whatever it takes para makamit mo yun. And that learning or teaching from my parents or father, nadala ko yun hanggang paglaki. And nagagamit ko siya until now, even sa business namin. Even sa team, kung paano, how we lead team, sa grupo namin. Yun, ini-instill pa din namin, one way or another, yung mga tutunan namin sa mga magulang namin.
So masasabi mo na parang hindi ka masyadong close sa nanay mo, more on father side ka, mas naging ano?
Close, somehow, hindi ko masasabi. Kasi lumaki akong may takot eh. Parang dati ang narrative ko, parang lumaki akong may trauma sa tatay ko kasi parang growing up, gusto ko laging nakukuha yung approval. Yung kailangan kong maging honor student, otherwise hindi ko kunin ng tatay ko yung report card sa school. So paano yun? So yun lang lagi ang naging narrative ko, baka dapat okay si daddy, di ba? So malaking learning din yan sa akin na kailangan kong, or malaki ang impact nun sa akin growing up. Kasi talagang naapektuhan yung confidence level ko before, na kailangan kong in every action that I make, parang I operate on how my father think or anong sasabihin ng tatay ko, 'di ba? So yun yung naging that's how I operate before. Always getting the approval of my parents. Good thing na I discover personal development through the book of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's where I start yung journey ko sa personal development. I stumbled on the book of Robert Kiyosaki. So natutunan ko yun, then I attended the cash flow workshop. So and then I got introduced to amazing people na naging business partner ko eventually. Joanna, Jerome, and Angie. So yun yung journey ko. Kasi since before ang declaration ko na I want to become a successful businesswoman someday. Pero wala naman akong alam sa business. So syempre, if nasa isip ko na yon, lahat ng actions ko, lahat ng decisions ko dapat mag-align dun sa declaration ko before. So since I don't have any business background, I don't have any background in sales, pumasok ako sa distribution business. So, dun ko natutunan how to talk to people, how to negotiate, how to carry myself in front of business people. Kasi, ang background ko is into accounting and audit eh. Ang lagi ko lang kaharap is the laptop, Although, the good thing naman about my audit experience, since I'm into internal audit, ang lagi kong kausap are the top executives. So natutunan ko din doon paano, how to talk to the top executives, how to talk to business people. So yung mga experience na yan help me or how do you call this, helped me to become who I am today. Molded me to become who I am today.
Yun, thank you. So, i-hold mo natin yung other questions. Gusto ko malaman din yung side ni Ate Joanna.
Ayan.
So, Ate Joanna, can you
Matindi
share
to
us
matindi.
yung from zero up until na nag-grow ka from teenage to until nasan ka ngayon na business
Handa ba
woman?
yung mga makikinig sa'yo?
Yes.
24 hours eh.
Kulang ang 1 hour.
Kulang 24 hours. Actually, listening to Jev a while ago, I just realized, sobrang opposite. Hindi ba pala sobra? Ang laki ng difference ng background namin growing up. Ako talaga, I came from the slums. So, squatters area talaga ako lumaki. And then, my parents, they were both vendors sa palengke. Nakamulatan ko, ang tinitinda talaga ng family ng parents ko isda. So, hindi talaga sila educated. And at the same time, ako, wala akong pangarap na maging business person. Hindi siya pumasok sa hinagap ko. Kasi I do not have, growing up, there's no one na nagtuturo sa akin o nagpapakita sa akin nun eh. So, yun, I came from nothing talaga, financially struggling always. Money was always the cause of issues in the household, especially between my parents. And then ako yung pinaka journey ko, it actually started when I was 18 years old. This is, I think that this, I would consider this as the height of the poverty for us, kasi dumating kami dun sa time ng mother ko na kailangan namin kumain ng panis na kanin, na nire-wash niya. Hindi naman panis talaga, hinugasan naman niya yun para maayos namin makain. Pero at the time kasi talaga, we have nothing left to eat. So, during that time, while it was happening, I really couldn't look at my mom. Hindi ko siya matingnan. Kasi parang alam mo yung term na nababagbag yung damdamin mo. I really couldn't look at her because I wanted to, in a way, preserve whatever little dignity she left in her, because I'm not yet a mother, but I know I would be. Pero kasi tumulong ako sa family ko, sa mga kapatid ko na magpa-aral sa kanila, nag-provide ako financially. So in a way, parang naging nanay din ako for a very long time, especially nung my mom passed away 10 years ago. And bata pa lang ako, I already know the feeling na ang hirap para sa magulang na kailangan mo pakainin ng panis na kanin yung anak mo, 'di ba, just to survive. So at the time, I made a decision, something in me snapped. So ito yung sinatawag ko na silver lining of my life. I just realized na sinasabi ko na sa sarili ko na this would be the last time that something like this would ever happen, na kailangan kumain kami ng panis na kanin just to survive. So I decided to quit school. Kasi nahihirapan naman talaga yung magulang ko. One thing about my parents, similar kami, edukasyon lang talaga yung kaya nilang ipamana. So they're very, big in educating us, na talagang ginagapang nila yung pag-aaral namin magkakapatid. In fact, nung high school kami, kahit nasa squatters area, medyo maganda naman yung school na pinasukan namin. Hindi siya private, hindi naman siya public. Parang nasa middle, ganyan. So they really wanted to give us the best education as much as they could, no? And then, so I quit school kasi nahihirapan na rin talaga ako na whole day ako nasa school, I have nothing to eat. So sabi ko, I won't go back to the school anymore. Kasi at the time, sa Cavite kami nakatira, sa Dasmariñas. So, I went back to Manila and then pumasok ako ng work sa auntie ko. So, tinulungan ko sila sa restaurant videoke nila, also sa hardware store nila. And then, fortunately, nagkaroon ako ng mga kaibigan who worked in PUP Santa Mesa at that time. So when they found out nga that I had to quit school, sabi nila, pwede ka naman bumalik, tulungan ka namin. So through their help, nakabalik ako sa eskwelahan. So I took education this time. And then, so while I was working, I was also, going to school. So ang sleep sa akin dati, normal na sa akin makatulog ako ng 3 to 4 hours daily. Normal na. Sobrang thankful na ako kapag naka 5 hours ako eh. So, that was my life until Asian crisis hit. So, once again, I had to stop kasi the business of my auntie and uncle, it has to stop. So, bumalik ako sa pagtatrabaho full-time. I had to quit school once again. So, pumasok ako. Ang dami kong trabaho. Nag-promodizer ako, nag-flyering ako, nag-restaurant ako. Ang dami. Lahat ng odd jobs, napasok ko na. Ang importante lang sa akin talaga, I have to make money because nga I have a family to support din, and also ako din kailangan ko din suportahan yung sarili ko. That's why alam mo pag nasa mall ako, people are yung may mga namimigay ng flyers, talagang kinukuha ko yun, or kung hindi ko man gusto yung flyer, I smile back at them kasi na-feel ko talaga nung time na nagpa-flyering ako na hindi kinukuha, tsaka para akong non-existing, na para akong ghost. Alam mo yung feeling na alam mo yung ang hirap na nga ng buhay mo, tapos napaparamdam pa sa'yo ng ibang tao, intentionally or unintentionally, na you don't matter. Ganun yung pakiramdam. Kaya talaga kapag nasa mall ako, guys, pag nasa mall kayo, may nag-aabot ng flyer sa inyo, please get it. If you don't want it, just smile back at them and tell them thank you. That's the best thing that you can do kasi you don't know how you're going to brighten up the life of that person. So, going back. So, ayun, ang dami kong trabahong pinasok until nakapasok ako ng BPO. And then nagturo din ako sa Korean, although hindi ako marunong mag-English kasi may curriculum naman. So I went back again to working and studying. At age 25, I was able to get my diploma na. So tapos 2 months after, or 2 or 3 months yata, nakapasa ako sa licensure examination for teachers. So I really thought, yun na yung journey ko. And then a friend of mine introduced me to a company kasi naghahanap sila ng admin assistant at that time. Ang laki ng income. Parang wow, parang triple to nung kinikita ko sa department store dati kasi sa dep store. Ang kinikita ko lang mga 6,000, 7,000 a month yun ha. So parang ito, ina-offera nila ako ng more than 20,000. So sabi ko, syempre parang nanlalaki pa yung mata ko, di ba? Okay, sige, I'll go get it. So luckily, nakapasok ako dun sa company. So nag-change na naman yung path ko. Parang mas nagustuhan ko na yung corporate job. So, sineryoso ko yung corporate world, and then napasok ako, naging regular ako, napunta ako sa finance department. Noon nandoon na ako, doon ko na-realize, ang dami ko palang kulang. Sa sobrang kahihiyan ko, kasi I was writing memo, I was tasked to do SOA, siya, 'di ba? Accountant siya. Sobrang easy sa kanya gumawa ng SOA, debit and credit. Ako talagang, Diyos ko, yung isang SOA, aabutin ako ng ilang araw. So nakakahiya. Ilan yung SOA na atas? Buong Pilipinas kasi yun dahil nasa electricity, utility industry kami ako nung time na yun. So sabi ko, sige, hindi pwede to, nakakahiya naman sa mga boss ko, tsaka sa company who trusted me, who believed na I can deliver something to them. So that was the first time I encountered the power of personal development. Kaya lang at that time, hirap ang hindi kami kagad nabibigyan ng opportunity to do trainings. So what I did, naghanap ako ng sarili kong training na ako yung mismo nagbayad. So, I look for, nag-enroll ako sa accounting for non-accountants, 6 months schooling yun, non-formal school. Nag-enroll din ako sa American English so that para maging maayos ako magsalita. At the same time, business writing. Nag-Toastmasters din ako. Lahat yun galing sa sarili kong pera kasi I always believe na ano man yung skill na makuha ko, babaunin ko yan, hindi man yan maiiwan sa company. Hindi yung boss ko lang yung makikinabang dyan, mas ako yung makikinabang. So, ayun, because of that, gumanda yung mga memo ko, nakarating na ako sa iba't ibang agency, yung mga sinusulat ko, yung SOA ko, less na yung mali, yung mga ganyan. Until I was introduced eventually to a distribution company. And then I attended the Cash Flow 101 workshop. Doon na kami nag-meet ni Jeff. So, because of the Cash Flow 101 workshop na facilitated ni Jerome by Lorus Enterprises, doon ko na-realize, sabi ko, wow, ganito palang maging entrepreneur. Ganito ba talaga kabilis gumawa ng pera? So sabi ko, sige, I'll do this, I'll try it. So I was working once again and then doing the distribution business na naman for about 3 years until I made a decision to quit. And then I went full-time na sa distribution company. And then I became one of the core leaders kami ni Jeff. Hindi kami magkakilala pa talaga ni Jeff before kasi malaking grupo kami Pero isa kami dun sa mga naging regular volunteers na kasi nga na-change yung life namin because of Robert Kiyosaki of Cash Flow 101, because of Jerome San. So our way of giving it back kay Jerome and also sa company was to support Jerome dun sa advocacy niya. Naging volunteers kami. Every time, every month, may Cash Flow 101 workshop. We didn't get paid. Pupunta kami dun just to support. Magbo-volunteer kami, magmo-moderator kami. Until 2015 came. So, Dahil ang tagal na ako, 2009 eh. Pareho yata tayo 2009, no?
2012 ata.
At 2012. So ako, I started with Lorus as a volunteer 2009 pa lang. So, dahil naging super close ako kay Jerome, naging siya yung parang personal mentor and personal friend ko. And we always talk about Robert Kiyosaki, Bellumtan, Rich Dad Asia, Rich Dad Principles. So yung pangarap niya, nadalhin si Robert Kiyosaki, naging pangarap ko na rin. Napunta na rin siya sa akin. And then, eventually, naging pangarap na siya ng buong grupo. And the opportunity came to us 2015. Robert Kiyosaki, together with Success Resources, they were planning to bring him to Southeast Asia. And they were thinking of including the Philippines. Pero they don't know anybody sa Philippines. So, nilapitan nila si Bellum Tan, who was our mentor and business partner din. Siyempre, naturally, si Lorus yung nirecommend ni Bellum. So that's when Lorus Enterprises became what it is right now. Na nagdadala na kami ng mga international speakers, and then we grow bigger from an international workshop like the Cashflow 101 workshop. Nagkaroon na rin kami ngayon ng opportunity to have the National Achievers Congress. So because of that, Robert Kiyosaki, Gary Vaynerchuk, Matthew Hassis,
Chris Gardner.
Chris Mary
Gardner,
Buffett.
Pursuit of Happiness, the man behind the Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes. Recently, si Vision Lakiani at saka
Yes.
yun yung na-attendan mo, Vision
Ken
Lakiani
Honda.
and Ken Honda. And then, we also had the opportunity now to do the Millionaire Mind Intensive, which is another world-class event, international yan. It has already transformed the lives of millions of people around the world. And kami dito sa Philippines, tayo lang yung may exclusive rights to actually conduct that seminar here. Yun.
Ayun, thank you. So, grabe no, ang daming mga skills na natutunan, ang daming mga kailangan pagdaanan. When regarding sa parents, you have to be obedient for you to, parang natatakot ka kung hindi mo gagawin. Huwag na natin sabihin yung edad, but yung ano na lang, syempre, kumbaga parang sa'yo, yung buhay mo na natin, Jeff, dati is saktuhan lang. Kumbaga si Ate Joanna is parang talagang down talaga na walang-wala talaga. So, there's different scenario here, di ba? So, ang tanong ko lang doon is, tsaka na natin pag-usapan doon sa business side, kung nasan kayo ngayon. So, anong edad or anong panahon yon yung nag-click na, okay, kailangan ko nang gawin to. Yung panibagong buhay, parang ganun. Kasi syempre, sa wala, saktong buhay. So, may mga tao kasi sa Pilipinas ngayon o sa buong mundo na walang-wala, hindi hindi nila alam kung kailan, yung marirealize mo kung kailan ka magagawin mo to, kailan mo kumilos, anong edad, kailan ba to, anong senaryo ng buhay mo. Sinong gusto mo?
Hindi natin i-reveal yung edad.
Yes, of course.
Kasi hindi ko na rin maalala. Pero dumating, kasi we're 5 in the family, 5 siblings. Middle child kasi ako. So yung agwat namin magkakapatid, yung isa 2 years lang, isa 1 year. So parang feeling ko, kailangan kong maging independent. Kasi yung magulang ko ay nakafocus sa mga kapatid ko. Kasi kailangan nila ng attention. So parang kailangan kong magtrabaho para masuportan yung sarili ko. Ganyan. Medyo kakaiba lang talaga ako mag-isip before kasi parang at a young age, parang dapat kailangan kong maging successful, dapat marunong ako sa buhay kasi ito. Revelation, no? What if kung maagang kunin ng Panginoon yung magulang ko? Paano ko? Ganyan. So, at a very young age, pinag-aralan ko na paano ito gawin, paano maging independent. Kaya nung college ako, nag-aral ako sa malayo. So, ano yung buhay pag wala yung magulang mo? So, doon ko talaga kailangan mong maging independent kasi walang ibang tutulong sa'yo kundi yung sarili mo. 'Di ba? Tapos syempre, naranasan ko yung buhay na mahirap na hindi mo kayang, kasi 5 kami magkapatid, 'di ba? Madaming pinagagastusan yung magulang ko. So hindi naman pwedeng magdidepend na naman ako sa kanila. So kailangan ko gumawa ng paraan. Tapos may mga pagkakataon na yung kapatid ko ay na hospital kasi masakitin yung kapatid ko eh. Yung hindi makalabas ng ospital unless makabayad ka. Na kailangan humingi ng magmakaawa yung magulang ko para makalabas man, para hindi lumalaki yung bill. Doon ko talaga nasabi sa sarili ko na hindi pwede tong ganito. Dapat pag may kailangan yung pamilya ko, kailangan meron akong maibigay. Kasi naawa ako eh. Alam mo, kailangan magmakaawa or makiusap yung nanay ko para makalabas yung kapatid ko, para hindi lumalaki yung bill. So, tapos, syempre, yung may kamag-anak ka na parang may nasabi na tumatak talaga sa aking isipan yun. Possible na kayo yung nakakaangat ngayon. Pero hintayin nyo yung balang araw na kami naman yung nasa itaas.
Bukas lulod ang mga tao. Sinasabi ko sa'yo.
So, yun yung mga motivation ko dati na hindi kailangan maging ganito. Kailangan kong baguhin yung buhay ko para somehow matulungan ko yung pamilya kong mabago din yung buhay nila. 'Di ba? So yun talagang lagi naman tayong Pilipinong motivation natin laging pamilya. 'Di ba? So yung urge ko na parang maging successful. Paano ka maging successful? Dapat magkaroon ka ng negosyo. Hindi ko alam kung saan ko nakuha yun.
Excuse lang. Ilang, teenager or graduate ka na niyan? Ano na naisip mo
high
yun?
school.
High school? Pa-college ka lang yun.
Pa-college. Hindi ko alam kung
Grabe
bakit
no,
ganun
high
ako
school.
mag-isip. Kasi dati yung mga first year college, umiiyak pa kapag iniiwan ng magulang. Ako sabi ko, gusto mo ba umiyak din ako? Kasi parang excited ako. Excited akong umalis sa bahay namin. Maybe because at the time, yung feeling ko na parang masyadong toxic for me. Yung interpretation ko, bakit ganito? Parang lagi kang kontrolado, hindi ka makakilo. So, excited akong makalayo kasi gusto kong i-build yung buhay ko ng ako lang. Gusto kong matutong mag-isa. So, mag-isa akong nangarap hanggang sa nakatapos ako. Hindi madali kasi I took up accountancy. Hindi madali. I'm just an average student. Ito pang nakakatawa. Kasi nung high school ako, may barkada ako. May kaya sila. And every time na may gumagraduate sa high school, ang gift, sasakyan. So sabi ko,
Uso na pala yun dati? Parang kala ko ngayon lang yung ganun. Uso na pala dati.
meron. Tapos sabi ko, ano kayang trabaho ng parents ito? Parang gusto kong maging ganyan. Tapos nalaman ko yung papa niya, accountant. Sabi ko, daddy, kung gusto ko pag-college ko, dapat accountancy. Okay, dahil ang requirement kasi ng tatay ko, dapat yung degree mo, yung may board exam. Kasi para professional ka, ganun yung thinking niya. Ako, may board exam. Sige, yun ang kunin ko. Yun talaga. Kaya nung first day of class in college, di ba may question, bakit mo naisip na kunin yung accountancy? Ang nalagay ko talaga kasi gusto kong maging mayaman. Hindi ko alam, di pala yun ang rason para maging mayaman. Kasi pag graduate mo ng college, pag akala mo okay ka na, tapos pag mag-take ka ng board exam, akala mo sure na makakatrabaho ka. Ang dami nyo pala. Kailangan mo din i-prove yung sarili mo. Bakit ka kailangan tanggapin? So, hindi siya madaling journey. Diba? Kailangan mo magtrabaho. Tapos, naalala ko lang before nung lumipat ako ng Manila, yung marami kang bakanting oras. Hindi naman kasi ako, homebody kasi ako before homebody before hindi ako lumalabas. Ang dami kong nasayang oras. Hindi ako yayaman pag nakaupo lang ako, walang ginagawa at nakatingin sa may anong pwede kong gawin. Kaya naghanap ako ng opportunity. Pinagdasal ko talaga siya. Bigyan mo ako ng opportunity, Lord, para magkaroon ng additional income. Doon ko nakilala or doon ko na-discover yung network marketing before. Imagine mo, nagtatrabaho ako na aside from my full-time job, meron akong mga racket on the side. Tapos pinasok pa yung network marketing. Kasi ito na yun eh. Gusto kong magnegosyo pero hindi ko alam paano magnegosyo. At least yung network marketing may sistema. Pwede. Tapos may mentor ka pa. Pwede. Dito ko magsisimula. Mahihain ako. Dito ko din madidevelop yung sarili ko. Pero alam mo, hindi ko talaga binabadmouth ang network marketing or distribution marketing kasi dyan ako natuto. Dyan ako natutong humarap. Ngayon, sobrang kahit takot na takot ako, pero kailangan kong gawin kasi negosyo ko to eh. You have to treat it as your business. So, kailangan kong lumakas yung loob ko kahit sobrang nakakatakot. Pero kasi yung fear mo, it's all in the mind eh. Pag nandun ka na, alam mong kailangan mong mag-step up kasi negosyo mo siya, mangyayari siya, magugulat ka na lang, ay, kaya ko pala. Kasi sabi ng mentor ko dati, the only thing that your mentor cannot teach you is self-discovery. Ikaw lang talaga makakaalam kung anong kaya mong gawin. So, doon nagsimula yung journey ko na yung desire ko maging successful because nakita ko na mahirap kung paano ginapang ng magulang ko na buhayin kaming 5. Mapapatanong ka, bakit naman kasi kailangan 5? Pero ganun kasi before, siyempre sa family nila, 9 sila. So, naging parang, yun yung parang normal for them, di ba? Pero nakakatuwa din kung kahit gaano kahirap, nakita mo yung pagsisikap ng magulang ko na kahit gaano kahirap, gagawin nila para maayos lang yung buhay namin.
Tama. Ayun. Thank you, Ate Jeff. Ikaw naman. It's your time.
Yes. Ako, I started very early, I think. Kasi yun nga, bata pa lang ako, may yung sense of awareness ko, masyado na talagang mataas. I observe things and then I'm very affected with our financial situation, especially yung relationship ng parents ko. Kasi growing up talaga, aso't pusa talaga sila. So, bata pa lang ako, nababother na ako na ba't lagi nag-aaway about money. And then nakita ko talaga na pag may pera kami, masaya sila pareho and masaya yung buong household. Pero kapag wala kaming pera, grabe yung chaos talaga na nagbubugbugan, nagkakasakitan, yung mga ganyan. Kaya bata pa lang ako, sabi kong ganun, hindi ako aware sa business or whatsoever. Pero sinasabi ko talaga, pinapangarap ko talaga, I wanna be rich. Gusto kong maging mayaman. Minsan nga nangangarap ako, Lord, paampun mo kaya ako ng ganyan. So, tumutulong ako sa parents ko sa pagtitinda ng isda. Kasi lahat naman kami magkakapatid, talagang required eh. Hindi dahil gusto ko, required lang talaga na kailangan kami tumulong sa pagtitinda ng isda. And then, nung pumasok na ako ng college, that's when I started taking ownership. Kasi pumapasok ako school with only 20 pesos every day. Magkano yung pamasahe ko? 8 isang one way. So parang sa 20 pesos ko, I only have 3 or 4 pesos left every day. So ang ginagawa ko, nagtatago ako sa mga kaklase ko, hindi ako makakain. Tapos every time na Friday, doon ako sasama sa kanila. So ngayon na naging tuksuhan, favorite ko ang munggo. Even high school pa lang ako, akala lahat ng mga kaibigan ko, paborito ko ang munggo. Nagkakataon lang kasi. Every Friday is munggo day. Every Friday ako nakakapag-ipon na kasi nga Monday to Thursday, tinitipid ko yung sarili ko. Tapos munggo ang pinakamura. Like ang munggo dati, isang bowl, 10 piso eh. Tapos magkano lang ang kanin. So parang I only have 15 pesos, busog ka na. So from high school up to college ko, ganun lang yung kinakain ko. So all the while akala nila favorite ko. Pinangatawanan ko na lang din na favorite ko.
Sarap naman.
Pero ngayon, up until now, munggo.
Actually, sabi nga nila, diba, parang there would always be a part of you, ng childhood mo, that would stick with you. So ngayon, every time magaling ako magluto ng munggo, masarap ako magluto ng munggo.
Patikim naman dyan.
Pwede. It's because every time I eat munggo, it moves me back dun sa times na kumbaga parang naibangon ko rin yung sarili ko. Kung hindi dahil sa munggo, parang ganyan, hindi rin naman ako siguro makakarating sa kung anong meron ako. So, college ako, naging resourceful na ako. So, nagtitinda ako ng samalamig. College na ako nito may manliligaw na, pero nakakahiya. Alam, nasa palengke ako, nagtitinda ako ng isda, nagtitinda ako ng manok, nagtitinda ako ng gulay, tapos yung pinaka nakatulong sa akin, magtinda ng samalamig. So, papasok ako, tapos nagbebenta ako ng Avon products, nagbebenta ako ng Playtex ba yun? Yung underwear ng mga babae, hindi na ako nahihiya. Talagang yung mga kaklase ko, binibentahan ko sila kasi yung little amount na naiipon ko, pang tuition fee ko yan eh. And then, yun na nga, yung pinaka-turning point when I was 18, nung kumain na kami ng panis na kanin ng nanay ko, sabi ko, I don't want to be a victim of my circumstances. Kasi never ko namang nakita yung sarili ko na victim. I always knew in my heart na I can do something about it. And that was the only time lang talaga that I took ownership of everything. So, nung nag-quit ako ng school, yun na nga, working student, providing for the family, I'm still supporting. Hindi ako ni-require ng parents ko, by the way. Unlike, that's one thing that I'm grateful then for my parents. Kasi hindi naman talaga yung, uy, Joanna, magtrabaho ka, mag-quit ka ng school, tulungan mo yung mga kapatid mo. Walang ganun eh. Ako yung mismo nagkusa that wanted to help them. Then eventually, siguro parang naging ganun na yung takbo ng buhay namin, na ako na yung tumutulong, I'm working different jobs para continuous na may income. And then, so nabaon ko lahat yun, yung pagiging resourceful ko, yung pagiging mautak ko, yung pagiging fighter ko, pagiging independent ko, lahat yun nagamit ko talaga sa journey ko. And then, in every situation that I am in, regardless of how big the hurdle is, kahit iceberg pa nga yun nasa harap ko, hindi ako natitinag hindi ako natatakot. Never akong naging quitter. And I always see an opportunity for it. And to be honest, I may sound very spiritual or very religious for other people na nanonood sa atin. But I've always believed, even bata pa ako, especially right now, na yung journey ko talaga, it has always been divinely guided. Yung pagkakatapos ko ng school, yung pagpasok ko sa corporate before, until napunta ako sa distribution business, hanggang napunta na ako sa Loros Enterprises, all of those, hindi siya planado I was planning something else, but then I would be provided with something else, and always better siya. So, nakakatuwa lang na in everything that I am doing, I really feel the guidance and the mercy and grace of my Father God. And especially right now, na matanda na ako. Kaya sobrang na-appreciate ko na lahat ng mga nangyayari sa buhay ko, walang pangit, honestly. It may look like pangit. Hindi naman ako, I don't want to be a plastic person na kunwari, magpe-pretend ako na hindi ako nahihirapan every time na may challenge. Talaga namang iniiyak ko yan. Ako, minsan nga tatawagan ko siya, iiyak lang ako Alam mo yung minsan, nagtatago ako. Hindi ako nakakausap ng kahit sino kasi I was talagang allowing myself to cry it out, to just be vulnerable And then I'll call somebody else. Sasabihin ko na I just really need to cry it out. Kailangan ko ng tulong. Hindi ko na siya kaya. Yung mga ganyan. Pero sobrang natutuwa ako sa journey ko kasi it has always led me to something better. Nahihirapan man ako, kunwari meron akong situation right now, nahihirapan man ako, dumarating ako dun sa time na tatanungin ko si God, God, ano pa po ba yung lesson na hindi ko natututunan dito? Pwede po bang isang buhos na lang, bigay mo na siya sa akin right now? Kasi pagod na po ako, honestly. Baka pwedeng bigay mo na sa akin right now, ipaliwanag mo na sa akin, ituro mo na ako dun sa taong dapat kong makausap, ibigay mo na sa akin yung solution para matapos na po. Dumarating ako sa mga ganung pagkakataon and then minsan darating yung solution sa akin, minsan hindi agad-agad. And then I would realize later on na kaya nangyari sa akin yung isang bagay na yan because it's part of my growth, it's part of my journey, and there is an important lesson that He wants me to understand from it so that it's something that I can also share to other people. So ganun yung nangyayari sa journey ko na parang whenever somebody would talk to me, they would always tell me na ang relatable ko sa kanila, yung kinwento ko, yung na-share ko, sobra nilang naiintindihan, na-feel nila kasi pinagdaanan din nila. So doon ko nare-realize na, oh my gosh, okay God, thank you na you've allowed me to experience that, and thank you for the courage and the wisdom that you've given me. Kasi kung hindi ko pinagdaanan yan, I won't be able to provide something dun sa tao na lumalapit po sa akin. So yun, paano ba yung sagot ko?
Parang ginawa kang instrument ni God for other people.
Always. Ang lagi ko sinasabi talaga to, I always claim this, I am God's fantabulous daughter. Ako lang ang nag-iisang fantabulous daughter niya kasi ako lang naman yung nagki-claim ng word na fantabulous. So, everybody else, sige, magsiksikan kayo dyan kung ano yung amazing, awesome kayo. Pero ako, I would always say that I am God's fantabulous daughter. And whatever would happen, they happen. It's because God wants it to happen into my life. Kasi something beautiful is really going to be removed from me. At merong nag-aantay na sobrang maganda na makakatulong sa akin at makakatulong din sa mga tao sa paligid ko.
So di ba, galing ka from bata, and then nakarelate din ako sa sinabi mo na nagbebenta ka dati ng mga isda, ganun, tinutulungan. Kasi ako dati, ganun din ako, nagbenta ako ng mga baboy sa mga palengke, ganun. Benta ng gulaman para lang makapasok, ganun. So nakaka-relate ako. Ano yung mga hakbang na sa tingin mong ginawa mo? O paano mo siya na ilagay sa plano mo?
Tell you.
Kahit ano yung hakbang? Parang ano yung naging pattern mo? Or paano yung naging step ng buhay mo? Para mag-grow ka sa kung anong meron ka ngayon?
Bata pa lang ako, hindi ko pa alam yung concept ng trust and surrender, but I always trust and surrender.
Yes.
Yun. And malakas yung kapat ko talaga sa Panginoon na dati nga elementary ako, nagpupunta ako sa simbahan on my own eh. Nagsisimba talaga ako every Sunday, tapos talaga nagkikip ako ng lit ng konting barya para meron ako maibigay sa simbahan. So, yung faith ko, yun yung strongest armor for me na meron ako. Faith ko kay God na whatever happens, hindi niya ako papabayaan. He would always provide for me. Faith ko sa mga magulang ko na kahit na magulo yung pamilya namin, I always believe na my parents, they still want the best for us. Though dumating din naman ako dun sa time na talagang, nagre-rebelde. Kasi siguro, ako lang to, hindi ko lang alam sa iba, pero talaga nagrebelde din naman ako. Pero hindi nawala sa akin yung paniniwala ko that my parents wants the best for me. And faith ko sa mga tao sa paligid ko. Lagi ko pa rin sinasabi na itong tao na to, may purpose yan sa life ko. Mas naintindihan ko yan when my mom passed away 10 years ago because of cancer. So, ang hirap tanggapin na she was only 58 years old and she was taken agad. At the time kasi, lubog ako sa utang, kasi ang dami kong maling decision sa distribution business ko before. So, hindi ko maintindihan na parang sabi ko, bakit kinuha agad si nanay ko sa akin na hindi ko pa naibibigay yung pangarap kong buhay para sa kanya. Meron akong kaibigan na madre. So, nagkukwentuhan kami about it. Nasa wake siya ng mom ko. And she told me na you have to understand na lahat ng mga tao sa buhay natin, dumarating sila for a purpose. So, pag inalis na sila sa life natin, it's because tapos na yung purpose nila sa buhay mo. So, syempre, because I was grieving and I was carrying a lot of guilt, hindi siya nag-sink in agad sa akin. Then over the years, I was carrying the guilt, I was crying, I was blaming myself, and medyo gumaganda na yung buhay ko financially, medyo nagiging stable na rin kami sa negosyo, nag-grow na rin ako, kasi nga nag-i-invest na ako sa personal growth ko, but still yung guilt sa akin na, sayang naman, panghihinayang ko lagi na, sayang naman, sana God, hindi mo na muna kinuha si nanay, kasi ito yung travel na gusto niya, may makikita akong bag, may makikita akong damit, sabihin ko kung nandito si nanay, alam ko magugustuhan niya to, kung nandito si nanay, for sure pinagsasaluhan namin yung ganitong pagkain, yung mga ganon. Until it just hit me na totoo, darating yung mga tao sa buhay natin for a purpose, and mahirap man tanggapin, pero they will really be removed from our life once the purpose has been fulfilled. It's because you are onto a new journey. So, bagong tao, bagong journey, bagong experiences, bagong lessons na naman. Kasi that's part of our growth as human being. Yeah.
Thank you. So, ikaw, Ate Jeff.
Ako again, I can so relate with Joanna. Kasi, growing up, talagang feeling ko mag-isa. Ginawa ko lahat ng mag-isa. Parang naging, narrative ko before na walang ibang makakatulong sa sarili ko, kundi sarili ko lang. So, yun lang, ang bad thing lang doon is, minsan sinisikreto ko yung mga nararamdaman ko, yung mga problema ko na hindi nalalaman ng ibang tao na meron pala akong pinagdadaanan. Pero one thing na kumakapit ako, sa taas, yan lang talaga yung sobrang down na down ka. Yung pupunta ako ng simbahan na mag-isa, para magdasal at doon ako umiiyak kasi hindi nila ako nakikitang umiiyak talaga na yung sa public na yung hindi kasi ako ma-share sa mga problema ko before. Sa kanya lang talaga ako nagdadasal, nagpe-pray, doon ako umiiyak sa simbahan, pag nagdadasal ako mag-isa, doon ko lang nakukuha yung strength ko sa taas at never talaga ako pinabayaan. Totoo yan, no? Na sa lahat ng nangyari sa buhay ko, yung journey ko, hindi man kaagad-agad nakuha, pero lahat ng pinagdasal ko nangyari. Because I trust and surrender. Ang dami kong pagsubok sa buhay na pinagdaanan, pero yun lang ang tanging yun ang tanging pinanghawakan ko. Meron akong Panginoon na laging tumutulong sa akin. Yes, nakaalalay sa akin, na laging nakikinig sa akin sa lahat ng mga daing ko, sa lahat ng dasal ko. I only have my God. And hindi naman ito religious. Pero
Baka maano nila, sabihin,
Si
ano
Sister
ba yan?
Javelin,
Da-
si Sister Joanna at si Pastor.
pero totoo yun. Parang totoo. Kasi syempre lumaki naman talaga ako sa isang Catholic family. At yun talagang itunuro na kumapit ka lang. Diba? Kumapit ka lang. And everything mangyayari yan if you really believe and trust in God. And of course, believe in yourself na kaya mo.
Yeah.
I think that's yan yung siguro pinaka-core naming dalawa, or yung one thing that we have in common talaga, yung strong faith to our own divine creator. So when we say divine creator, yun nga, not sounding spiritual or religious, pareho kasi kaming Roman Catholic. So for the people watching us or hearing us later on, no, it's when we say divine creator, it doesn't have to be always God eh. Basta meron kang pinaniniwalaan na higher power, yun siya eh.
Ayun, thank you. So, more on trust and surrender, di ba? Nag-bring back lang sa akin yung ginawa natin sa Bohol. So wala nakakaalam guys, na-meet ko sila sa Bohol, sa Panglao, Bohol, sa... Yes. So, naalala mo, Jab, yung laro natin na yung box-box.
Yes.
It's, na-realize
Ay,
namin.
magkikreate.
Yes, yung ang dami nyo, tas biglang kailangan nyo mag-create ng isang box or mag-create ng square. Yes. So, parang ganun yung parang nag-remind sa akin, no, na-realize ko ngayon na you have to trust to your family members as much as possible, to your loved ones or to your teammates. And then kailangan mo, di ba, pag hindi sumakto yung box doon, kailangan mo i-surrender sa gitna. So yung parang nagre-reflect sa akin yun, parang sometimes we have to surrender for us to be able to grow.
Yes.
And parang pag na-surrender mo na lahat doon, kumbaga kusa na lang ibibigay ni Lord yung peace na kailangan mo. So parang ganun yung nagana sa akin. So na-appreciate ko yung yung ganong bagay na sinare nyo. So ang tanong ko ngayon is, sa mga pinagdadaanan nyo dati at ngayon, ano yung may pumasok ba sa mind nyo na kailangan mong baguhin to na way para ano yung share us na ano yung way na okay, kailangan mo siyang baguhin yung path na to para ito yung sa tingin kong mas makakabuti. Ano yung ginawa nyo? Like, anong paraan? Anong desisyon? Mali ba yung desisyon na yun? Or tama yung desisyon na ginawa mo?
Does it have to be related to business or does
Anything in life, either sa life mo or sa business mo.
Sige, ako na muna mauna. I'll start. Ito kasi most recent to. My husband and I, we've been through a very stormy challenge in our marriage. So pag combine mo si Hayan, si Ondoy, sino to, si Estong. Ano Estong ba? Yung pinakalakas. Enteng. Yung pinakamalalakas na bagyo, no, sa Pilipinas. Ganong level yung pinagdaanan naming mag-asawa. And so at first, when we were going through it, ang reaction ko was, wala naman akong maling ginagawa dito. So I was on the blaming stage. So every time I would talk to him, ang parang language na lumalabas sa akin was, this is all your fault.
Yeah.
Wala akong mali, tama naman yung ginagawa ko, ano bang pagkukulang? I couldn't see na may mali ako sa situation. And then, so of course, siya defensive, ako din, pareho na kaming defensive, so hindi na nagmi-meet. So, ang nangyari, parang lalong lumalaki yung drift between the two of us until ego came in, pareho na kaming mayabang, pareho naming hindi tinatanggap sa sarili namin na may mali kaming ginagawa sa isa't isa and sa marriage, di ba? So, and then I went to a program called Unmessable. So, it's another program that we are creating here in Loros Enterprises. And there was a concept that our facilitator, Aljor, introduced to us. It's 100% ownership. Na everything daw na nangyayari sa buhay natin, 100% of that, it's because of us. Kami pareho, lalo siya. Talagang, hindi namin matanggap eh. Pero, wait.
paano naging kasalanan ko? Ay, ako na nga yung victim dito sa situation na to. Bakit kailangan ako yung umako ng pagkakasala, diba? So first day, so it was a concept that it was so hard for me to grasp until second day came, then third day, last day na, naintindihan ko na siya fully. So the first night pa lang, nung ninarrate, binabalikan ko sa utak ko, tapos I was trying to really understand it. Bakit ako kailangang mag-take ownership with this situation? So, at first, yung activity was take ownership. Okay, I was doing it because I needed to do it dahil part siya ng activity namin eh. So I was writing it down and I was taking ownership of everything that was happening wrong in our marriage. Then kinabukasan, it hit me. Oo nga no. So when I talked to my husband about it, so sinasabi ko sa kanya na parang, I apologize, I wanted to say sorry to you, na parang sa lahat ng mga pagkakataon na ganito yung nangyayari, ganyan. Ang sagot sa akin ng husband ko, kasi haba ng 6 pages yun eh. Imagine.
Parang
6 pages.
nagsulat ka ng essay.
Oo, kasi tinulugan niya kasi haba na talaga. So, ang sagot lang ng asawa ko was, sabi niya, wag mong akuin lahat kasi may problema din naman sa akin. May pagkukulang din naman ako. So, ang sagot ko lang sa kanya, allow me to take ownership. Kung ano yung mali ko para sa akin, now that I realize, allow me to take ownership of it. So it was a hard concept to swallow, right? But then when I finally understood the concept of unconditional love, now in a marriage, in a relationship, the usual approach of the couple is that 50% ka, 50% ako, we make 100%. Tama? That's what 100% in a marriage was for me. Pero, naiintindihan ko, hindi pala. 100% meaning 100% of me, 0% from you. Zero expectation from you, 100% expectation from me. Everything, all the expectations na hinihingi ko sa marriage, it should come from me. Pero not coming from the space na I need to. Kasi kapag need, right? Pero whereas I choose to, you are choosing, meaning you are in control. You still have the power. Kasi yung need kasi, you're giving up your power. So that's why nagkakaroon ng ego, nagkakaroon ng struggle, nagkakaroon ng away lagi sa relationship. Because nga, I was coming from the need space. So that's the best thing that I did about my marriage. And at first, it didn't stick. Hindi naman agad na ayos din talaga yung problema namin mag-asawa. Hindi rin naman kami nag-lovey-lovey agad, bumalik agad. So it took a while, few months. Yeah, it was a process. Pero ako talaga, I was very clear na I wanted to take ownership of this because I realized how important the marriage was. I realized how important my partner is. So, and because of that, it really changed a lot dun sa marriage namin. So ngayon, sa marriage namin is that wala akong expectation sa'yo. Do whatever it is that you think you need to do. Do whatever it is that you think I need from you. Pero hindi ko siya hihingin sa'yo. So ganun din si husband kasi nakita niya yung changes sa akin. Kumbaga parang ngayon nga ang language namin, how can I love you more today? Ganyan. Sasabihin niya sa akin na parang, you don't have to do anything. Wala ka namang kailangan gawin, Han eh. This time, hayaan mong ako yung magmahal sa'yo. Oh, parang, pero, sabi ko, okay. Pero ako, ginagawa ko pa rin kung ano yung tingin ko na dapat kong gawin. So, I remove all the blame sa sarili ko at sa kanya and then strive to make it better on a daily basis. Yun. So, ang dami namin ginawang pagbabago sa marriage namin. And so far, thank God, naayos namin yung napakalaking bagyo na dumating sa marriage namin na parang kung sa ibang tao, pag malalaman nila, one thing na yung mga nakakaalam is parang paano mo nagawa? Paano mo nagawang magpatawad? Paano mo nagawang tanggapin pa rin? Simple lang yung naging sagot ko because I took ownership. And at the same time, wala sa akin yung galit sa asawa ko kasi even though may pinagdadaanan kami at nag-aaway kami, hindi ko inalis lahat ng mga magagandang bagay na ginawa niya sa akin. Hindi ko kinalimutan.
Yan no.
So I always go back na itong nangyayari na to right now sa amin, this is just a phase. Part yan ng marriage. Pero hindi ko inalis kahit kailan sa utak ko lahat ng magagandang bagay na ginawa ng asawa ko sa akin. Kaya every time na feeling kumukulo na ako sa galit, tapos biglang papasok sa utak ko, oy, yung one time, nung nag-i-struggle ka sa negosyo, binigyan ka ng pera ng asawa mo, yung siya yung nagda-drive sa'yo to and from, kahit na ang layo-layo ng kliyente, pupunta kami ng Bulacan, Tagaytay, kung sa ipagda-drive niya ako, magli-leave siya sa office, para lang samahan ako. Those little things, tapos biglang maaalala ko, lahat ng galit na nararamdaman ko sa moment na yun, naglalakong parang bula eh. So, yun yung binago ko sa akin. So, right now, we're happier and we're trying na may mga sumusulpot-sulpot pa rin na something ganyan. Pero I always just go back lang na, Joanna, are you taking ownership of this situation ba? Do you have the power right now? Kasi if you're going to allow this situation to affect you, na kanino yung power? Yun.
Galing, no? Nakaka-inspire yung story gano'n. I mean, minsan lang kasi ang babae magkwento ng gano'n. Kasi mostly kasi na mga tao is they don't have ownership sa buhay. Ano ba siya? Parang sa tingin, I'm not sure, kasi may different understanding ako. Pag sinabi mo kasing ownership, sometimes hindi siya lumalabas kapag may pride or ego, no? Tama ba? So, ganun talaga siya. So,
you have to set aside the pride and ego kasi when you're still nourishing the pride and ego, ako pag nararamdaman ko nagiging prideful or egoistic ako sa situation, tinatanong ko lang sa sarili ko ano mapapala ko? Di ba ano yung sabi nila? Ano yun? It's better, parang, are you right or are you happy? Yon. So in this situation right now, what matters to me? Mas matindi ba sa akin, napaka-importante ba sa akin na ako yung maging tama sa sitwasyon na to? But if it's going to sacrifice my own happiness, would it still be worth it?
well, thank you. Parang ayoko na magkwento. Sabi natin, Diba?
Okay lang ako dito.
So yun nga, Ate Jeb, ikaw naman. So ano yung mga, kailangan mong baguhin or desisyon sa buhay mo na tama ba to or mali ba to? Anong, either sa life, or sa business, or anything?
Madami. Hindi kasi, di ba?
Bill out, madami.
Madami siya. Kasi yung learning naman is a continuous process. Yung self-mastery, it's a continuous process. So, ma-share ko lang, there was this event na before attending that, may survey sila. Ang question is, what is one thing, one achievement or contribution in your business in life that you're really proud of? So for some reason, hindi ko siya masagot. As in, hindi ko talaga masagot. Sabi ko, bakit I'm having hard time in answering this? So it took me days pa. Dinelay ko pa siya. Joanna, pinapollow up na, sinagutan mo na ba? Hindi pa pala. Pero actually, aware ako na hindi ko nasagutan kasi alam ko hindi ko alam paano sagutan. And then, I met with my friends, kwento ko yun. Bakit ang hirap kong sagutin yung tanong na napakadali naman supposedly? Tapos nagulat sila sa sagot ko. Bakit nahihirapan ka? Your number one contribution is ikaw. Ikaw mismo. You are, sobrang galing mo, matalino ka. You are a good leader, but hindi mo nakikita yun. So, I was struck by that answer. Sabi ko, bakit nga ba hindi ko ma-acknowledge yung sarili ko? So, I'm very good at acknowledging people. I'm very good at motivating people. I'm very good kung paano ko maipalabas yung galing ng mga tao. Bakit hindi ko kayang gawin sa sarili ko yun? So, malaking palaisipan siya sa akin. And then the moment when I answered na, ako yung number one achievement ko kung paano ko nalagpasan lahat ng pagsubok na dinaanan ko. And being in Loros Enterprises, I am one of the pillars. Pillar ako. In ang setup kasi namin, although we have this role or position, ang setup namin is we work kaming apat. Walang nakakalamang, walang alam mo yun, we work together as one kasi we are all board of directors. We own the company. Hindi nga lang talaga ako yung, nahiya kasi akong humarap or nahihiya ako magsalita. I just let Joanna, Jerome do that kasi my always narrative before was, kasi kanina okay lang ako. Diba? Then dumating sa point ang life ko, sunod-sunod yung mga triggers, sunod-sunod yung mga downloads, sunod-sunod yung mga pangyayari na parang, sino nga ba ako? Parang ganon. Bakit hindi ko kayang ma-recognize yung sarili ko? Parang ganon. So, and then I look back, I remember yung time na, nung college ako na marami akong pinagdadaanan sa buhay. Tapos nagkikwento ako sa tatay ko. Ang sabi ng tatay ko, alam mo ba yung pinakakaaway mo, pinaka-problema mo yung sarili mo. Hindi mo kayang ma-appreciate yung sarili mo, hindi mo kayang i-acknowledge ko ano yung mga na-achieve mo in life kasi lagi kang nakafocus dun sa anong sasabihin ng ibang tao. 'Di ba? Totoo yun, parang nahihiya ka, parang may narrative, nahihiya kasi ako. Pero the truth is, nahihiya ka o natatakot ka kung anong sasabihin ng tao sa'yo. So nawala yung authenticity. Nawala yung nakakalimutan mo yung sarili mo or lagi kang nagsashy away because afraid ka kung anong sabihin ng tao. Yung akala ko before hindi. Okay lang ako. Parang I'm very independent and all. Pero nung nangyari itong recent event na to, na-realize ko, so I still care about what other people think. Diba? That's why ang ginawa ko moving forward, siguro kailangan kong i-address to. It's time for me to step up. It's time for me to be in front, diba? Kasi then I attended or enrolled to a mentoring, soul mentoring, na sinasabi niya na yung sa mentoring na yun na it all started during childhood, that tapos na yun. You have to forgive yourself. You have to release yourself from all resentments from your father kasi trauma yan sa yung getting the approval. You have to be perfect and you have to do good para ma-appreciate ka ng daddy mo, ng mommy mo, diba? So until nadala mo yan because it was never addressed. So I have to forgive myself first for allowing myself to be a victim of the past. And I also have to release myself from all resentments towards my father, mother, and my siblings. Kasi hindi ako makaka-move forward if I will not do that. So, yung journey of self-mastery, parang feeling ko nagsimula siya ngayon that I'm in 2024. So, yung focus ko now is me. So, kung babaguhin ko man, of course, the mindset again. Akala mo naka-move forward ka na before, pero for some reason, bumabalik siya. So, at least, importante yung self-awareness na meron kang struggle na ganito. Kasi if you're not aware of that, hindi mo ma-address. Parang in any situation, pag hindi mo alam na ano yung problema, hindi mo masusolusyonan. You'll always be blinded na. You're always looking at other people. You're always looking at external factors. Pero ang kailangan mo munang i-address kung ano yun nandito, yung internal. So, number one, this is again another parang a topic about self-love and how to love yourself deeply is to being grateful. Kasi gratitude kasi starts with self. You have to acknowledge yourself na you are good. Diba? And you have to really feel it. Hindi yung puro lip service lang kasi nakapag-attend ka ng training, I am good, I am worthy, pero hindi mo siya feel or hindi mo siya, sinasa puso. So you have to be grateful sa hindi man naging maganda yung mga experiences mo, but ang dami mong natutunan which helped you na maging ano ka man kung ano ka man yun, diba? Acknowledge yourself more, love yourself more, and then yun na, and do something about it. So if you need coaching, go ahead. Diba? So, I know a lot of you can relate na yung, alam mo yung, nahiya kasi akong humarap. Diba? Kasi mahihain ako. You know what I learned? Kasi before, lagi kong narrative, introvert kasi ako. During my mentoring, sabi niya, don't say that. Do not label yourself as extrovert or introvert because it will limit you. it will make that as an excuse na introvert kasi ako kaya hindi na lang ako magsalita. Introvert kasi ako kaya dito lang ako, hindi ako meant to be in front because I'm an introvert. So doon ko na-realize, nga no, it's all in the mind. Ikaw lang naman ang nagbigay ng definition na introvert ka, kaya hindi ka kailangan humarap kasi introvert ka. Pero actually hindi. Huwag mong i-label ang self mo, extrovert ka, introvert ka, because ang mangyayari niyan hanggang dyan ka lang. However, if you consider yourself na I am confident, I am flexible, and I can do whatever I can do kung ano man yung dapat gawin, magagawa mo siya. Kasi at the end of the day, ikaw lang naman ang nagbibigay ng interpretation, ng definition sa ano man nangyari. Ano yung sinasabi ni T. Harv na about yung meaning?
Nothing has meaning except
Nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it. So, ikaw lang, kung ano man yung interpretation mo sa nangyari, ikaw lang din ang nagbigay ng meaning niya. So, yeah, the self-mastery journey, hindi siya overnight process. It's a continuous process. And
Until the day you die, actually.
yes, and I'm
Because
happy.
we are human. We
Correct.
evolve. Yeah.
Yes, kasi it's either you grow or you die. 'Di ba? So, keep on growing. So, do that, kailangan mo talagang enroll to different coaching if you must, attend to different self-development training if you must. Kung sa tingin mo talaga, that would really help you grow. And pull yourself out from your comfort zone. So, yeah.
Maganda din yung I just remember right now while listening to you, yung understanding the concept of the circle of control, right?
Yes.
And ano nga yan? Stephen Covey to eh. 'Di ba? The things that you cannot control and the things that you can control. So, and then also one thing about self-mastery is that understanding that you have the power always to take back everything. So, nandoon yung ownership mo, nandoon yung self-awareness mo. It helps you to move from one space or from one level to another. Eh.
So, yung sinabi mo, Ate Jeff, kanina nga, grow or die, di ba? So, ano yung sunod na hakbang na mga, kunyari, sa mga nanonood ngayon, gusto nila either nasa teenager sila ngayon, nasa high school or pa-college pa lang or pag-graduate pa lang. Ano yung ma-advise nyo na pwede nilang sunod na plano sa buhay, na sunod na pattern na pwede nyong maibigay sa kanila na okay, ito yung pwede nyong gawin, ano yung pwede nyong maging path sa kung nasan kayo ngayon or makaka-relate sa mga nanonood na from here to here. Kasi marami po kasi ngayon na mga tao na napansin ko based on sa mga Gen Z ngayon. So, medyo nahihirapan sila kung ano yung next step nila, ano yung panibagong plano nila. For example, may plano ka na naggawa, pero ano yung sunod na plano mo ulit doon? Kasi you never know kung pwede kang mag-change ng decision or mag-change ka ng direction sa buhay. May ganun ba kayong scenario na nag-decide kayo, ito yung sunod kong plano? Parang next step.
There's a book by Simon Sinek, Find Your Why and Start with Why. So regardless if you are in high school, college, or you're 50, 40, whatever your age right now, if you are in that situation in your life right now na parang feeling mo stuck ka, or hindi mo alam ano ba yung next step for me, saan ba ako pupunta, give yourself some time, and then sit down with yourself. Then kausapin mo talaga yung sarili mo, kapain mo talaga sa puso mo, ano ba talaga kasi yung gusto mo? Find your why. So many siguro yung sa mga kabataan, usually kasi 'di ba pag high school tayo, nangangarap tayo, ano yung kurso na gusto natin nung college, 'di ba? Parang anong gusto mong maging nung bata ka? Usually, ang sagot natin, maging doktor, maging abogado. It's because yun yung nakikita natin sa paligid natin. Until dumating ka ng high school, hindi ka makapag-decide kung ano talaga yung gusto mo. So kung ano na lang yung pinush sa'yo or nasuggest sa'yo ng parents mo or ng mga nakakatanda sa'yo, yun yung gagawin mo. Right? So okay lang naman yun. Nothing's wrong with that kung gusto mo yun. Pero pag hindi mo kasi gusto yan, doon nagkakaroon ng problema. Right? You're going to pursue a life na hindi mo talaga gusto. So eventually, there would be resentment. Magagalit ka sa pamilya mo, magagalit ka sa magulang mo, baon-baon mo yung galit na yan. So,
all this time that you are doing something, you're operating from the space na kailangan ko kasi itong gawin eh. Di ba nasabi ko nga sa'yo, I need to versus I choose to. So ngayon, kung nandito ka na sa stage in your life that you have the capacity naman to decide for yourself, right? Do it. But before you do it, make the decision, go deeper. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Is this really something that I want to pursue?
Yeah.
And one question that I always ask myself is, 5 years from now, going back sa situation na to, if I would have to make a decision once again in relation dito sa scenario na to, would I be happy? Because at the end of the day, our own happiness matters a lot. Right? And when we say happiness, hindi lang to sa financial, every aspect of our lives. Kasi talagang maaapektuhan yan talaga how you are going to operate in the world and how you are going to treat yourself and treat the people around you. One activity na I could suggest from them. So, first is the book. It's a really, really nice book. Find Your Why and Start with Why. Simon Sinek yan. Blue and red na book yan. Okay? Pag naintindihan mo yun, it's so easy for you to answer the question. And then, once you have decided na, okay, so this is my why, the next activity that all our friends na nanonood sa atin, what they can do is the 7 whys. Yung go deeper 7 times. So for example, what do I want to do right now? I want to do business. Okay, why do you want to do business? So that's the first question, why? So, ang sasagot mo, it's because I want to own my time. And then, I want to have financial freedom. I want to have time freedom. I want to serve the world as well through the products and services that I have. Good answer. Why do you want to have financial freedom, time freedom, and provide to the world? Second, why? So, bawat sagot mo dun sa tanong nung why, palalim ka ng palalim. Hanggang dumating ka dun sa 7 why. And the usual is, ako talaga, pagdating ko sa 5th why, and so many people who answer this, mag-i-struggle ka na. Kasi naubos na lahat eh. And then you would realize, pagdating ng 6 and 7, this is the real essence why you wanna do this. Why this is important to you. Doon nalalabas talaga yung the real you, the real purpose. Kasi everything else, yung mga una, facade lang yan eh. They sound nice, diba? Parang, uy, contributing to the world, uy, nice, cool, diba? I want financial freedom. Yeah, because kasi yung entrepreneur na kilala ko may financial freedom. So I also want that kind of thing. Nothing's wrong with that. Right? Pero, you have to really determine within you, why is it important for you? And why do you want to know why is it important for you? Para dumating man ang isang napakalaking challenge, alam mo na hindi ka matitinag.
You always go back to your why.
You always go back because the deeper the why, right? Mas malaki maitutulong niya sa'yo. Magkaroon man ng crossroad, dumating ka man sa isang crossroad, should I take the left or should I take the right? You would always be guided by your why. Dumating
Why
man,
is your North Star?
yes, it will be your North Star. Hindi ka malulost. And there are times talaga na darating ka dun sa pagkakataon. Ako sabi ko nga, I always go to, meron ako laging crossroad eh. And one thing that I understand about the crossroad in my life should I take left or should I take right? Ang clear naman, dapat I should take right. Pero dahil kasi may shiny object dito, shiny new object na nasa left, so I pursue this. Okay? Regardless if I pursue that, it will always bring me back pa rin naman dun sa why ko. So the detours, they happen maybe because, there's still a lesson to be learned. Hindi ka pa molded, hindi pa ikaw yung right person para dito sa right opportunity, itong sa opportunity na pinapursue mo. But it doesn't mean na hindi mo naman siya makukuha. Eventually, you would. Medyo mas magiging matagal nga lang, but at the end of the day, sabi nga nila, life is all about the journey. It's never about the destination.
Okay, thank you.
Miss Universe.
Ate Jeb. Oo nga parang naano ko Sabi ko, Okay. Ang dami ko din na, nasasagap eh. Sorry sa mga nanonood dyan, sana marami din kayo nakukuha sa mga knowledge na binibigay ni Ate Joanna. So, sa'yo naman ang floor.
Tama yun. Of course, number one is why, and Joanna explained it already. Another thing is, always ask yourself, are you in the correct or right environment? Because our mentor told us before, environment is powerful than willpower. Right? You can have, alam mo yun, meron kang pangarap, ito yung gusto mong gawin, but the people around you is not the same state of mind as yours. Possible na pwede ka nilang madala because mas marami sila. So sometimes, nung hinahanap mo yung worth mo, kaso lang, you're looking at it or finding it at the wrong person or wrong environment. So, find your community. Diba? So, in Loris Enterprises, we have this Millionaire Mind Intensive. We heard a lot of stories, inspiring stories about people na on the verge of suicide. Na gusto nang magkamatay because hindi na nila alam yung gagawin. Parang sobrang sagad na sila, sobrang down na sila. But when they attended the Millionaire Mind Intensive of Loris Enterprises, they got new perspective. Ngayon, nagkaroon sila ng, they get to know different people from different industry, and then parang may mga, yung each journey, each lesson na nag-inspire sa kanila. So may isip mo, bakit ko naisip na I'll take my own life? Life is good. Marami akong pwedeng magawa. Maybe because natrap ka doon sa environment na kung nasaan ka man, na walang nagsasabi sa'yo kung anong dapat gawin. Sometimes you just need someone to talk to. Diba? Find your community. And after that, yun always, alam yun, yung dun ka sa positive community, okay? Marami kasing community na hindi rin nakakatulong sa'yo. Look for a community that would empower you, that would uplift you from poverty or from your current situation. Find your people that would guide you, help you. Kasi possible now na hindi mo kakayanin kasi parang you're full of your emotion. Alam mo yun, sobrang sakit ng nararamdaman mo na the point is sinasabing hindi ko na kaya. So yung find people whom you really trust. Yan, importante din yun na
Best intention.
yeah, they have the best intention. Kasi possibly na akala mo they're true friends, pero yung story mo, they would take it against you. So always find the right people in the right community. And then third is, kung paano naman yung why more to guide you, kung meron ka ng gustong gawin kaso hindi mo alam paano mo simula, find the mentor. Find the right mentor for you to help you or guide you kung ano yung mga action steps na kailangan mong gawin.
Ako siguro just to add na lang, no? So the fourth would be the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you attract who you are. Everything is about the energy. Ako kasi I honestly believe talaga na everything around us is just energy. So the person that we become, it's also the same kind of person that we attract. So kung nagtataka ka sa buhay mo ngayon, bakit lahat ng mga, di ba lagi na, yung biruan na parang, yung boyfriend mo o yung girlfriend mo parang laging wrong person. Ang tanong, right person ka
Right
ba?
person ka pa.
Why would you question kung bakit maling tao yung naa-attract mo deep within you? Ano bang klaseng tao yung pinoproject ko sa mundo? Kasi yun yung nakukuha mo eh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, start with your why, find your community, find a mentor if you need to para guided ka sa next steps mo, hindi ka maliligaw, right? But the most important is, be the right person in everything. Do not be the kind of person na papasok ka sa isang community wanting to just get and get, but nothing to give. Viewers.
Ayun, ewan ko na lang kung hindi ka nagsusulat ngayon. Parang nasa seminar tayo ngayon. So make sure na lagyan yung bahay nyo malaking why. Tapos sa baba.
Vision board. Parang kami.
Diba?
May naka-display kami na
May
vision
nakikinig
board
ako,
sa
sabi ko,
bahay.
Kailangan ko yata ng malaking why sa bahay
Use it as a vision board. Kasi diba, most of us,
65% of learners in the world are visual. Kaya nga siya tinawag, what's your vision? What's your mission? Kasi vision, para nakikita mo.
Mm-mm.
So the vision board would actually help you rin. So ito na yung why mo eh. Ito na yung importante sa'yo.
Yes.
Tama naman yun.
I would like to share something about the vision board, kung gaano siya ka-powerful.
Go ahead.
Siyempre, nung pandemic, we lost everything. As in, yung wala talaga kaming money sa bank account. And then, it just started lang with the meditation and manifestation na December 2023, I would get my million again. 1 million. Yan. So, hindi ko pa alam paano ko siya gagawin. Hindi ko alam kung anong mangyayari. So, nilagay ko lang siya vision board. Every January, I do that. Yung anong gusto kong gawin. I want to go to Korea. Tapos yung paycheck kinuha ko pa yan sa Google. Inedit ko lang. BDO, 1 million.
Manifestation.
Kasi from zero, wala na kaming pera nung pandemic, di ba?
Mm-mm.
And then yung ibang goals ko, ganyan.
That's why
And then 2023, that was in January 2023. And then middle of 2023, binalik namin si MMI. And then it was very successful. And then by December, I received my 1 million paycheck.
Wow.
BDO check.
Mm.
1 million. And then I was able to go to Korea in Jeju, Korea. And then sabi ko lang, shucks, this is really, really powerful. Kaya, if you guys know, if you want to achieve something, create your own vision board. Huwag mong isiping imposible. Kasi, it will really happen. Because it all starts in here. It ends with
what your mind can conceive.
yung kay yeah, what your mind can, I'm sorry, hindi yung it all begins with an end in mind. And everything starts here. As Stephen Covey, and it all starts here.
Gusto ko lang din matanong si Ate Joanna and si Ate Jev regarding din sa kanilang business na personal development. Sila po sa mga nag-organize sa Pilipinas. So, ano po yung meaning ng Lauris Enterprises? Sino pong gustong sumagot?
Lauris Enterprises, when it was founded by our business partner Jerome San, ang inspiration niya dyan is the laurel leaf. So, nung mga unang panahon, yung pinakamatalinong tao, di ba meron silang suot-suot na laurel leaf, yung pagganyan, crown, yun yung indication that this person is the philosopher, pinakamatalino. So yun yung idea. Pero, marami kasi siyang pinagpiliang name, tapos lahat taken na. So si Lauris Enterprises na lang yung natitira.
Last option?
Meant to be.
Meant to be.
Yes.
And ano po ang parang, para aware din sila, ano po yung mga different category na ginagawa niyo sa Lauris Enterprises?
Category.
We do events talaga, seminars, workshops, and trainings. Focus on personal growth and professional development. So when we say that, so this is the self-mastery, self-leadership, personal finance. We also have events na focus din naman on investments and business. So
Leadership training.
yes, yung mga ganun.
Okay. Ano po ang mabibigay niyong advice? Siguro sa Ate Jev na lang yung sasagot dito. Advice sa mga gustong mag-gain more about personal development.
Please contact.
Diretso ka agad na. Hindi kasi sa mga panahon ngayon, kasi importante guys talaga ang personal development. So, since nandito na tayo, gusto kong marinig nyo isa sa mga owner ng personal development organizer. So, ano pong ma-advise nyo sa mga taong naghahanap talaga ng personal development? Na gustong matuto or gustong may malaman pa about sa sarili nila or sa mindset about business and everything.
Yeah, ako. Tulungan na kita. More siguro, I would like everybody to understand and treat personal development as an investment rather than an expense. Marami kasing tao na nami-meet namin na they don't want to attend the workshop, the seminar kasi wala silang pera, hindi nila nakikita yung value. But for me, personally, because I'm a product of personal development, the best investment that a person could ever do is personal development. Because that is something that nobody can take away from you. Saan ka man mapunta, ano man ang kalagyan mo, ikaw ang makikinabang first and foremost. And when you are fully invested in your personal development, hindi ka lulubog. Lumubog ka man, yes, kasi may mga situation na out of your control, pero makaka-bounce back ka agad, eventually.
Yun, thank you. So, napansin ko, mostly ang mga business owner, CEO ng mga business is puro lalaki. So, konti lang ang feminine, di ba? So, ano pong paano nyo nagawa yun as a teamwork na, kasi ngayon lang ako nakaharap ng babaeng may talagang CEO talaga eh. Mostly kasi namimit ko mga lalaki lang eh. So, as a feminine, ano yung talagang teamwork nyo na nagagawa?
First and foremost, wala yan sa gender. Regardless kung lalaki or babae ka. Hindi siya, pag sinabi mong CEO, dapat lalaki. No? Tanggalin natin yan yung label na, di ba, ang CEO or ang CEO is lalaki or babae, wala yan sa gender. Just so happen kasi, kaming apat pinagtagpo because of a purpose. Nandito kami to empower people, empower Filipinos. Kasi Filipinos, madaming talagang pa rin part ng Pilipinas na medyo hindi pa maganda yung katayuan sa buhay. And maybe because they lack education. Not the standard education lang, kasi you can actually enroll to different different schools para mag-aral ka. Pero it's important also. Pero meron kasing klaseng education that would really help you transform your lives. Change your mindset. Yan. Doon kami align. Apat. And yun, it all started by Jerome San because of a vision. May vision siya na dalhin si Robert Kiyosaki here in the Philippines because the Rich Dad Poor Dad book helped him transform or change his mindset or change his relationship about money through the book na Rich Dad Poor Dad. So the question is, ano yung question mo regarding sa how we work together?
Yes, ano yung parang sa tingin yung naging teamwork nyo na pwede nyong sa tingin nyo na mabibigay sa kanila na nag-work?
Okay, number one is we respect each other. We treat each other as family. So wala yung position, anong position mo. We work together as one team, as one family. Yun yung sagot doon. Kasi before talaga it all started, lahat ginagawa namin eh. Nagkaroon lang kami, we just attended a business coaching wherein kailangan mo ng role clarity. Yan. So, before, Joanna is into sales and marketing. Jerome was the founder. Angie is into operations. And I am managing the funds. I'm the CFO. Parang ganyan. So it just, and then pandemic came. Jerome and Angie, parang they said na, kayo na muna. They want to step down, pero hindi namin inallow yun. Kasi Lors Enterprises will always be the four of us. Regardless kung anong position mo, it will always be the four of us. We are the owners, and we are meant to do this. This is our mission, this is our vision. So hindi siya yung aalis ka na lang bigla. And as a family, walang iwanan. So, sige, if you don't want to be seen as doing it, okay lang sa amin, basta nandyan lang kayo. Yan. So, we work together kasi yung strength niya eh. We bank on each other's strength. Her strength really is to sales and marketing. Yun talaga yung gift niya. Communication, sales, marketing. My gift really is into numbers.
Okay.
So, hindi ko pinapakalaman yung numbers. Papaliwanag lang niya sa akin. Pa-screenshot niya sa akin. Okay, ganito. Okay. Sige. I trust na she is in control. She knows what she's doing in terms of our finances. And she trusts me that I also know what I am doing in terms of the marketing and the sales.
Pero we discuss things.
Yes.
Hindi na, for example,
we do decisions together.
Yes.
Pinag-usapan namin. And then, we meet mutually. Siguro yung pinaka-isa din is the value alignment. Yun yung pinaka-importante sa amin. So the four of us, kaya kami yung, kasi when Loris Enterprises evolved to what it is right now, would you believe 15 kami na nag-start? Yeah, so the company was founded by Jerome, and then Angie, the wife, is helping Jerome. So naturally, and then nung darating si Robert Kiyosaki, kailangan lumaki yung company because Bellum said, hindi mo to kaya na mag-isa lang. So you have to get business partners. So what Jerome did, lahat kami ng mga downlines niya sa distribution business before, kinuha niya. So from 15, naging 8. And then 1 month before the event, big event namin kay Robert Kiyosaki, naging 7. 1 year after, naging 4. And yun na, naging 4 na yun, kami na yung nag-stick. So, ang tanong, bakit? Ba't kaming 4 na lang yung natira? Kasi along the way, we realized na pare-pareho na kami ng importante sa isa't isa. We were all operating in such a way that yes, money is important, but it's not that important na kakayanin niyang sirain yung relationship namin as business partners. So we're all coming from the space na what can we contribute to the company and what can we contribute to each other.
Yes, and it's very important choosing the right partners in your business. Kasi itong partners na to, they will either make you or break you. Help you in the business, o ito yung reason kung bakit malugi yung negosyo. So, yun, value alignment, pareho kayo ng intention. Number 1 is intention, align kayo, pareho kayo ng gusto, pareho kayo ng values, and you're coming from the space of you want to empower and serve a lot of people through doing this. Kasi it could be a different business. Hindi man siya self-development. It could be a different business na papasukin nyo. Pero pag hindi kayo align, hindi kayo pare-pareho ng intention, walang patutunguhan yung negosyo.
Ayun, thank you. Grabe, no? So sa mga nagbubuo pa dyan or talagang nasa team na, sana mas na-appreciate, mas na i-apply nyo yung mga advice ni Ate Joanna at ni Ate Chef. So may mga katanungan na ngayon tayo na kailangan natin sagutin galing from Blueprint Podcast. Okay. Kay Ate Joanna tayo. Okay. What was the worst or ano bang magandang dito? What was the worst financial freedom decision making that you have made?
Worst? Okay. Ako, I don't want to treat and label things kasi as worse. Ganyan. Kasi, syempre, mag-iiba yung mentality and mindset. Pero siguro, if there's something that I could change sa mga decisions na ginawa ko sa business before namin, number 1, it would be yung not investing. Number 1, ulitin ko ba? Not investing right away sa pagkuha ng staff, pag-create ng team. Kasi na-limit kami before dahil 4 nga kami, may kanya-kanya kaming galing, masyado kaming naniwala na kaya namin ang lahat ng bagay. So, sobrang pagod. Kaya naman talaga. However, kasi hindi kagad nag-grow, hindi nakapag-scale up kagad yung company because nga, it was so limited. 4 lang kami na gumagawa, tapos ang lalaki ng mga events namin, 'di ba? So, ang dami naming plans, ang dami naming vision for the company, pero natagalan because nga, we didn't get the help of other people agad-agad. That number 1. And then number 2 would be when we finally decided na okay, sige, hanap tayo ng tulong from other people. Hindi namin inaral kung ano yung klase ng services that is going to be provided to us. So, katulad na nagkaroon kami ng isang partner na agency and ang ibibigay nila dapat is digital marketing. So, the goal was parang kailangan maging prominent, lumakas kami sa social media, specifically Facebook, YouTube, those kind of things. So, medyo malaki yung binayad namin dyan. Parang 1.8M. Meron naman kami nakuha. Parang in fairness din naman, marami naman na ibigay sila. Pero they weren't able to give us lang yung target. Kasi at the end of the day, it's the target that you wanna look at, diba? Kung naibigay ba nila yung promised deliverables nila 1 year after of the contract, hindi na ibigay yun. So, ang nakikita ko doon na if I could change something about it is that before ako pumasok doon sa contract na yun, inalam ko muna talaga din ano ba yung kind of services that they wanna provide to us and possible ba talaga given the timeline? Kasi everything is possible, everything is achievable. Ang tanong lang, achievable and possible ba siya dun sa timeline na tinitingnan mo? Kasi baka masyadong malaki yung goal na ina-achieve na kakayanin naman, pero it might take 2 or 3 years or maybe 5 years down the line. Or kaya naman in 1 year, pero baka hindi enough kasi yung strategy na ipinasok. So kung ako, parang kung aware ako nung ganun, tiningnan ko siya on that way, possibly, baka hindi na sayang totally 1.8 million investment namin at that time. Yun.
Next question, Ate Jeb, is do you have a mentor? If yes, ano yung pinaka-best advice na na-receive mo at na-apply mo sa buhay hanggang ngayon?
Kung mentors yung pag-uusapan, marami, direct or indirect. Pero one thing na pwede kong i-share is yung first mentor ko, yung tatay ko.
Oh, yung pa rin.
Yan. Ang dami niya talagang na-instill sa akin na learnings, na advice na until now dala-dala ko siya. Ito yung isang bagay, yung isang advice na maalala ko sa kanya. Yung kinote niya yung story about yung pag pumunta ka ng may army, papunta sa gera. Nung pagdating nila doon, sinunog nila yung barko. Kasi ang intention is, you do whatever it takes to win the war kasi wala kang babalikan. So, I still carry that advice with me until now na dala-dala ko siya na kahit anong mangyari, huwag kang mag-give up. Do whatever it takes para ma-achieve mo yung goal mo. Huwag ka nang tumingin, huwag ka nang mag-isip ng anumang plan B. Kasi it would stop you. Okay, pwede kang sabihin na, okay, hayaan mo na hindi mangyari kasi may plan B naman ako. So, para siyang do or die. Do whatever it takes until makuha mo yung goal mo in life.
Ayun, thank you. Grabe, no? Never give up, guys, ha? Mawawa tayo pag gumibap ka.
Yes.
You only live once.
Totoo yun.
Ayan.
Ikaw rin lang yung talo.
Tama. So yun, guys, dito na tayo. So we have something like a trivia question. Ready na ba kayo? Okay. So, papipiliin natin sila from 1 to 10. Okay? And kung ano yung napili nilang number, meron tayo dito na yun yung tatanong natin sa amin.
Ano yung mga happiness or chocolate, gano'n?
Pwede din. So, okay. Ready? Sino mo una?
Bala na.
Okay, sige. Si Ate Jeb na lang muna.
Ayan tayo.
1 to 10.
6.
6.
Pareho tayo ng number in mind.
Kasi yung number
Then,
ko
okay.
talaga.
So, you have to choose a different number.
Yeah.
Okay. So, number 6 is kung pwede kang bumalik sa isang particular na oras or panahon sa kasaysayan, saan?
Kasaysayan ng buhay ko?
Yes.
Buhay.
Saan at kailan ito at bakit? Kung babalik ka, parang ganun siya.
Kung babalik ako sa past.
Sa particular na oras or panahon or kasaysayan.
Kasaysayan.
Saan at kailan at bakit?
Saan at kailan at
Huwag mo sasabihin, 50 years old ako. Baka na tayong edad.
Buti na lang, hindi yun ang pinili ko.
medyo mahirap siya, no? Gusto ko sanang sabihin yung the moment na pinanganak ako dahil yun yung unang pagkakataong hinagkan ako ng nanay ko. Pero hindi ko naman maalala.
Tama. Sa bagay, no? Hindi mo talaga maalala.
Maalala yun. Pero maganda sana, di ba, kung maalala ko. Kung babalik akong panahon. Yung panahon na I was in college at this time na nag-open forum kami.
Wait.
Family.
Family, okay.
Na once nangyari yun, pero
Because that is
sa ano yun? Sa open forum. Kasi ito yung panahon na ginather kami ng tatay ko. Tinanong niya ang bawat isa na ano yung nararamdaman mo toward each other. Magkakapatid and nanay tatay. Kasi ito yung mga panahon na yung kuya ko na parang naglolo ko sa school. So parang hindi, because of fear, hindi niya masabi sa tatay ko. And actually, it was my mother who talked to my father about it. So lahat kami, kung titingnan mo, takot kami sa tatay ko. So siguro, my father stepped up. And before kami papunta ng Iligan, kasi that's where we went to school, sa college, ginather niya kami, nag-open forum kami, and sabihin nyo ang gusto nyong sabihin sa bawat isa. Siyempre nagulat kami. And yun yung pagkakataon, no judgment, kahit anong sabihin. So sa lahat ng sama ng loob namin sa bawat isa, simula sa kuya ko hanggang sa bunso, sa nanay at tatay ko, we were given that chance to speak up. Kasi takot na takot kami magsalita, takot na takot kaming maging totoo sa tatay ko because of that fear. And hindi niya alam yun. So nung pagkatapos nung pagkakataon or opportunity ng bawat isang magkwento or magsabi, kahit masakit or hindi, sabi niya, na-realize niya na lahat kayo galit sa akin. And I believe hindi siya aware. Kasi at that time, ang kanya is kailangan kong magtrabaho at gawin ang best ko para mabigyan ko kayo ng magandang buhay. And after that, the best part, humingi siya ng sorry sa aming lahat. Then kami din, naghingi kami ng sorry sa bawat isa, nagyakapan kami, and that time, after that, moving forward, nagkaroon ako, parang nahanap ko yung voice ko. Na if I feel something, if masama man yung loob ko, sinasabi ko ng diretso sa kanya. And for me, that was very parang inspiring na hindi lahat ng magulang ay kayang gawin yun. Kasi hindi nila kayang tanggapin na ako yung may mali. Pero my father stepped up at nakinig siya talaga sa amin. Intently nakinig, even sa mami ko, kung anong nararamdaman ng bawat isa. Kasi na-feel niya, parang may mali. Kasi bakit parang walang communication na nangyayari? Hindi ko alam na may pinagdadaanan na pala yung anak ko, pero hindi ko alam. Kasi takot kami. Pero because of that opportunity ng salita kami, lahat kami nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob ko. And for me, that is very, parang memorable for me.
Yun, thank you. Grabe, no? So, isa sa mga importante sa family na na-realize ko, at saka talagang ginagawa na namin before, is you need to open to your parents. Very important. So, guys, sa mga nanonood dyan, talagang ikaw na siguro mag-initiate sa parents mo kung gusto mong talagang I think that's where mag-i-start yung growth or changes ng buhay mo. Parang ganun. So, thank you. Grabe, no? Ready na!
Number 5.
Ay, binuhasan lang ng isa, no? Number 5. Ready na, okay. Number 5, the question is, parang ang dali lang sa akin nito. Okay, ready na. Number 5 is, kung magiging hayop ka, anong hayop ang gusto mong maging at bakit? Actually, dapat ang ilalagay ko dito is, katulad nung sa event, kung superhero ka. Kaya naisip ko, wag na lang. Sabi ko, ayaw na. Kasi same time na siya yung host na.
Yes, I'm galing ko
So sabi ko, wait lang, hayop ng hayop.
Recently, hindi naman pala recently, yung mga panda.
Panda,
Yun,
okay.
di ba yung sa China? Lagi lumalabas kasi sa reels ko yan. Tapos every time na lumalabas yan sa reels ko, pupuntahan ko talaga yung page. Tapos mabababad na ako, pinapanood ko na lahat, ganyan, kahit yung iba naulit ko na. Sobrang nakakaaliw kasi sila.
Yes.
So siguro kung magiging hayop ako, just to simplify things, I wanna be a panda.
And why?
Why? Ang sarap ng buhay nila. Tulog.
Cute pa.
Tulog
Cute
there.
pa.
Ang cute. Gulong-gulong. Tingnan mo ha. Walang effort. Ang cute nila. Napaka-adorable. Pinapakain mo. Tapos parang inaalagaan ng husto. Who wouldn't want to have a life like that? Na just being cute is enough.
Okay, so guys, ito yung best part sa lahat is describe in one word
One word. One word.
sa buhay mo o sa buong buhay mo na nag-start dapat sa my blueprint is. And then describe mo yung one word na yun. Or sabihin
Wala
mo
nang
one.
explanation.
Wala nang explanation. Or unless kung gusto mo yung explanation, so they can relate as well. So, sino mo? My blueprint is na talagang magtatatak talaga sa'yo na ito yung blueprint ko from start the foundation up until where I am right now.
My blueprint is Empowerment.
Empowerment. Okay.
Ako ano to, may dash. So, considered as one. My blueprint is divinely guided.
Again,
My blueprint is divinely guided.
divinely
Guided.
guided. Okay. So yun guys, narinig nyo na yung kanilang blueprint sa kanilang buhay. So nagpapasalamat ako sa inyong time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the notification bell. So baka may mga gusto kayong i-promote or social media nyo. Ate Joanna, Ate Jad.
Yes, if you are in the stage of your life right now that you want to start investing in your personal development or professional growth, then we are the right persons to contact. We are Loros Enterprises and we do events once again, seminars, workshops, trainings related to personal growth and professional development. We offer so many programs po. And what we do differently sa mga nagka-Cashflow 101 workshop is that we are able to bridge the gap na mas maintindihan ng mga participants natin paano nila maa-apply yung Rich Dad Principles in their own business and investments dito sa Philippines. And I'm proud to inform you po na I'm actually mentored and I'm currently the Filipino facilitator of the Cashflow 101 workshop kasi marami pong nagka-cashflow sa iba't ibang bansa as certified and mentored by the late Bellum Tan. So dito po sa Philippines, ako po yung pinakabago.
Ayun, thank you very much. May gusto pa po ba kayong sabihin?
Wala naman. Pero marami po kaming events. Marami po kaming upcoming. May Take-Off Summit tayo, may Unmessable tayo, National Achievers ang katatapos lang po natin. And then for next year, for 2025, meron po kaming mga 2 to 3 programs na new programs that we are currently niluluto namin, na-marinate na namin ngayon. So by 2025, it will be ready to be served na for all the Filipinos.
And let us know, sino yung gusto nyong dalhin naming international speaker? Sino yung iniidolo nyong author, speaker, trainer? Let us know para magawa natin ng paraan yan for the next year's National Achievers Congress Philippines.
Comment down below.
Comment down below.
Ayun, so maraming salamat sa panonood and I just wanna thank you, Libro Expresso, for using your place. And also salamat sa mga nag-sponsor, Front Media, thank you very much. And also, syempre, thank you, the CEO and the founder of Loros Enterprises, Ate Joanna and Ate Jeff. So you guys, see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye!